There is someone out there who hasn't had a full, restful night of sleep in months. Every single time they close their eyes, their conscience violently wakes them up. They are walking around with a tight chest, carrying a secret that is physically making them sick. They are staring at their phone right now, typing out a message to you, deleting it, and pacing their living room floor. They are carrying the unbearable weight of a co-authored lie, and they are about to crack. I need you to sit down and really focus on the incredible, silent shifting of the spiritual atmosphere right now. For a very long time, you have been carrying the heavy, agonizing burden of being completely misunderstood. You watched people you trusted side with a manipulator. You watched a completely fabricated narrative about your character spread like wildfire, and you were forced to stand there in absolute silence while a group of people built a massive lie against you. But a lie requires constant maintenance, and the weakest link in their chain has just snapped. Today, we need to have a profound conversation about the architecture of a shared lie and a psychological phenomenon I call the whistleblower's agony. We are going to break down exactly why the person who helped ruin your reputation is currently preparing to expose the entire operation, and why the mastermind who orchestrated the attack is currently in a state of absolute, sheer panic. Let's look at how this false narrative was built in the first place. A toxic person, a narcissist, or a deeply bitter ex cannot build a smear campaign entirely by themselves. If they just stand in a room and shout that you are crazy, people will eventually question their sanity. To make their lie look credible, they need a co-signer. They need an accomplice. So they carefully recruited someone. This was likely a mutual friend, a family member, or a coworker who was gullible, people-pleasing, or easily manipulated. The toxic person sat this accomplice down, played the ultimate victim, shed fake tears, and twisted the facts so entirely that the accomplice actually believed they were doing the right thing by taking their side. The accomplice agreed to the narrative. They nodded their head. They participated in the gossip. They might have even helped spread the rumor. They essentially co-signed a fraudulent emotional loan. But here is the massive problem with recruiting a normal person to do a toxic person's dirty work. The accomplice still has a conscience. In the beginning, the accomplice felt righteous. They thought they were protecting a victim from you. But as the weeks and months went on, the illusion started to decay. The toxic person got entirely too comfortable. The mask started slipping. The accomplice started noticing things. They noticed the toxic person's weird, obsessive need to keep bringing your name up. They noticed the aggressive, controlling behavior that the toxic person was now directing at them. And suddenly, a cold, terrifying thought crept into the accomplice's brain. Wait. If they are treating me this badly, maybe they lied to me about what actually happened. This is the exact moment the whistleblower's agony begins. The accomplice is suddenly forced to look at the situation with clear eyes. They look back at how you handled the entire situation. They remember your silence. They remember that you didn't run around town desperately trying to destroy the other person's character. They look at your current life, how you are quietly glowing, minding your business, and moving forward with absolute grace. and the realization hits them like a physical blow to the stomach. They didn't protect a victim. They helped a predator crucify an innocent person. Do you have any idea how heavy that realization is for a human brain to process? When a person realizes they actively participated in the spiritual assassination of a chosen one, the conviction of the Holy Spirit drops on them like an anvil. They cannot eat. They cannot sleep. Every time they see a picture of you, their stomach turns in knots. They know that until they confess what they did, their life is going to be completely blocked. The guilt is literally acting as a massive dam, stopping any kind of blessing from flowing into their own life. They cannot hold the secret anymore. The pressure cooker is at its absolute limit. This person is preparing to break ranks. They are preparing to expose the lie they helped build. They might be planning to come directly to you to confess. They might be planning to expose the truth to the rest of the friend group. They might just entirely blow up the toxic person's spot in a public setting. But the moment of exposure is imminent, and the mastermind knows it. Right now, the toxic person who orchestrated the lie can feel their accomplice pulling away. The manipulator is aggressively trying to do damage control. They are trying to flatter the accomplice, buy them gifts, or subtly threaten them to keep their mouth shut. The mastermind is terrified because their entire fake reality is resting in the hands of someone whose conscience has just woken up. The house of cards is actively collapsing in the wind, and you did not even have to blow on it. This brings us to the most critical part of your journey today. What do you do when the whistleblower finally comes forward? What is your posture when the accomplice knocks on your door, tears in their eyes, apologizing for believing the lies, and begging for your forgiveness? You give them total, absolute forgiveness, and then you politely close the door and lock it. I need you to hear me clearly on this. When the truth comes out, your empathetic, beautiful heart is going to want to comfort the person who is apologizing. You are going to see their guilt, and you are going to want to make them feel better. You might even be tempted to invite them back into your inner circle, because you are just so relieved that someone finally sees the truth. You must not do that. You are a chosen one, not a rehabilitation center for people who lacked the discernment to see your true character. The fact that they are coming clean is a beautiful thing for their own soul, and it is the ultimate vindication for yours. But it does not erase the fact that when the fire got hot, they chose to stand with the person holding the matches. If you let an accomplice back into your premium space, you are telling the universe that your boundaries are negotiable. You are telling the universe that people can drag your name through the mud, help your enemies build a lie against you, and simply buy their way back into your life with a tearful apology. Your peace is way too expensive to put on the clearance rack. When they apologize, you look them in the eye and say, "I completely forgive you. I harbor zero resentment toward you. I release you from this guilt, and I wish you the absolute best in your life." That is it. That is the end of the transaction. You do not owe them late-night phone calls. You do not owe them a coffee date. You do not owe them a seat at the table God is currently preparing for you. Their apology clears the air. but it does not buy them a ticket to your next chapter. You are stepping into a season of radical, undeniable vindication. For months, maybe years, you had to swallow the bitter pill of being the villain in a story you didn't even write. You had to trust that the creator was keeping an accurate record, when the rest of the world was reading a fabricated script. God is about to publish his record. The truth has a heartbeat, and it completely refuses to be buried alive. Take a very slow, deep breath today. Release the tension in your jaw. Let go of the desperate need to clear your own name. You don't have to defend yourself anymore, because the people who built the lie are about to tear it down with their own hands. I am really curious about the intuition you have been feeling lately. Have you recently had a strong gut feeling about a specific person from your past? Like you just know they are feeling guilty, even though you haven't spoken to them in months? Or have you already experienced the moment an accomplice broke down and confessed everything to you? Drop your story in the comments. We need to document this profound reality, because your testimony proves that a lie has an expiration date. Keep your hands entirely clean and your boundaries incredibly firm. The truth is already walking up your driveway.